Good evening and welcome aboard. Tonight, Shop Live with Mimi and Russ is a little different. As you can see, this is not Mimi. This is one of our favorite clients, actually our friend and client, Connie. Connie's with us a lot, watching our show, and she's one of our best clients in the sense that Connie loves to come in here and do what we do best. Pick out gemstones and make creative pieces, and Connie's got a great eye for items and jewelry.
She's a top fan.
She is a top fan also on our Shop Live, so we invited her tonight to come in because we're not really doing a shopping deal tonight. We're going to do some educational, some informational things, and Connie's done some extensive traveling, and she wanted to be in part of this and talk about it because you're not just hearing it from us, you're hearing it from someone who's actually experienced some of these things as well. So tonight we're going to talk about this message in a bottle. We have got a message in a bottle for you tonight, and I'm going to read it to you.
What's the message say?
The message basically says, when traveling abroad, especially on a cruise ship, beware of jewelry bargains. Would you agree with that?
I would completely agree with that.
So have you had experience with that?
I have seen experience with that. My jeweler has forbidden me from purchasing abroad.
This is true. This is true. We've seen a lot of things over the years. We've been in this business for about 40 years, and I have seen a lot of people come back from wonderful vacations and cruises, and they come in, they're all excited. Hey, Russ, look at this beautiful tanzanite ring I got. Look at this gorgeous emerald necklace I got. And I got a great deal. And there's no duty and no taxes. I'm going, well, that's fantastic. They show me this appraisal. This appraisal is like, oh my gosh, way over the moon. They're like, 5 times markup of what it should be. Something's not for free. These places buy from the same places that we do. We go to these jewelry shows, and we see the same people from these diamond exchanges and these particular jewelry houses that are all over the Caribbean. They know that you're down there, you're on a vacation, you're on a honeymoon or anniversary, you're having a great time, and you're a sucker for a good deal on jewelry. But
Getting wrapped up in the moment.
exactly.
Yes,
But
too many Bahama mamas.
Too many Bahama mamas. You're
Or
not
whatever drink of your choice.
exactly.
And
But, one
speaking
thing.
of drinks,
One thing that has actually been good, some of the cruise ships now that have designated places they want you to go. So they're a little bit more honest in that regard, but they're getting a kickback. So
They
you're,
are getting a
about that,
kickback.
You're not
a
gonna
huge
get the deals.
kickback, actually.
yeah. Mimi's going to read something here shortly, all about some people who've really done some research and have some really good vital information. So we're going to talk about that a little bit tonight. And Gabrielle has a sequence tonight on her drink segment, which is going to be tonight. I believe you're going to do what?
I'm gonna do it live here whenever you're ready.
You're going to do it live?
Yeah.
Well, let's go at it. Let's see, because I need a drink if I'm going to sit here and talk all night. Connie's already got a glass of wine.
Well, let's go in the other room here. All right. Hey everyone, we're doing sangria. So I've got everything prepped here. We've got, this is a juice of an orange with a little bit of sugar, and I did put a little triple sec because it wasn't quite enough orange juice for me. So dump it in your pitcher. And we like brandy in ours. It says 1/4 of a cup. Let's eyeball it.
That's a big bottle of brandy.
It's a big bottle of brandy, maybe like a 1/2 cup.
You can use cognac also, can't you?
Cognac is good. There's a bunch of varieties. So whatever fruit you have on hand, I've got some strawberries, some blueberries. Dump them in. We've got peaches and some kiwis.
It's like a dump meal.
It is. Limes and oranges. And some apples, which is the best part because they get all soaked up and boozy. All right, we got a red blend. Dump her on and whole bottle.
There's no need to buy an expensive bottle.
No.
Just some $10, $15 bottle of red wine.
Nope. So the longer it sits, the better it gets as far as the fruit goes, but that's all there is to it.
We don't care. We just want a drink.
So it's a good party drink, so let's pour it up.
Refreshing this time of year.
So you can use white, you can use red. think it's Cabernet Sauvignon Day or something or another. That's why we're going with red today. All right.
It's so,
And Mamie, would you like to take a few to our host tonight?
it's so refreshing, and you got all these
There you
nice
go.
seasonal
Well, here, let's put a little more fruit in some of these. We need
seasonal
fruit.
fruits this time of year.
Mm-hmm. Whoop. Without trying to make a mess here, but. All right.
And then some of your friends that love this in the summertime.
Oh, yes. A good beach drink. All right. There you go.
Talk. Okay, you're back on.
We're back. I would love to have you, but anyway. We're back. Thank you for the drink out of here. Sangria is refreshing and wonderful drink to have. Would you like to say anything to our audience tonight?
In regards to the cruising or in regards to,
Jewelry, cruising,
Jewelry?
whatever you want to talk about.
well, as we know, Russ is one of the best, most gifted artisans in the area. So he's a lot of fun to work with.
Thank you.
I enjoy getting to come and play while you're working on other projects. Not just my projects, but other people's projects,
Yep.
which is kind of fun.
Connie's got a really good eye. She's really good with color, and she comes in here. We put together a lot of color stone pieces, really multiple colors. People go, well, I want a sapphire and diamond ring. We might put sapphires and spinels or multicolors together. We just finished up a pendant that Gabrielle designed with about 5 different colors of gemstones in
It's
it.
gorgeous.
It's really
It's
beautiful.
beautiful.
It is. We got a few projects we're working on for you right now too, as a matter of fact.
Yes. Shh.
Oh, is your husband watching? Okay.
So Connie, I'm curious to know how many cruises you've been on, and
I've been on 23 cruises
23?
total since
Wow.
beginning in the 80s, and I enjoy cruising because it allows you to go to different places and have all your stuff in one place. So you don't have to worry about packing or unpacking or any of that kind of stuff. So I love cruising.
You get seasick?
Nope. Well, I have partaked in seasickness medication periodically, but for the most part, no.
Okay.
I'm past that. I just look at it as I'm tipsy. It's like you had a glass of wine or two.
It means you're getting your money's worth.
You
right?
are.
There
you
you
are.
go.
It only takes a glass of wine to feel like you've had 2 glasses of wine, so that's good.
There you go.
what kind of experiences have you had with jewelry or seeing the jewelry
Well,
stores?
Being someone who loves jewelry, I have always enjoyed looking at jewelry, and I know what kind of stuff that they have is just not quite the quality. It's almost like going to K Jewelers, not to dish on a specific brand, but a retail place that is not a custom place, and the prices are as expensive as the custom pieces that I get designed.
Well, what they're doing, they're selling mass-produced pieces
are.
at tremendous
They are.
markups.
And they're making it seem like such a deal.
Well, they have these so-called appraisals that they have someone do for them
Yes.
and mark them way up. But, something's worth what somebody will pay for them, technically. But, the appraisals around the country, this country vary from region to region because something costs one thing in New York, it costs different in Raleigh, North Carolina, it costs different in Miami, it costs different in Shreveport, Louisiana. Every region has different economics, so, appraisals don't really mean anything when you're buying something overseas like that. So be really careful of that.
One other thing to think about is most cruise ships are registered to other countries. They're
On
not
purpose.
U.S.
All of them.
Not U.S. registered
Yeah.
cruise ships.
I don't think there is a company out there that is a registered U.S., and that's to avoid taxes as well as other stuff.
But then it also limits you as a United States consumer for consumer protection and
That's true.
pricing standards.
Yeah.
So that's one thing. As soon as you step on the ship, you're in kind of their custody, so to speak.
Yeah, if you want to buy something, buy a souvenir, buy a fun little piece, maybe a
I bought costume jewelry on there.
amethyst.
You know, like 40 or 50. Well, I'm talking $40 or $50 pair of earrings that I know were costume jewelry, is what I classify it as.
But you wouldn't drink 2 or 3 glasses of that wine on the ship, get off the ship and go buy a $5,000 ring.
No, I would never. But I do go into the jewelry stores and I look at the stuff and I'm like, oh, excusing my language, this is crap. This is really not a quality piece, and you can see the inclusions in some cases, or it's just not. I've learned a lot from Russ, and it's just not worth the effort of going through and deciding you're gonna buy that.
You know, we would love to be your personal jeweler, but if you're somewhere where we can't be, if you're somewhere out of state or wherever you're looking from, find a local jeweler or local person like us that has got the experience, has got the certifications as a gemologist that my wife has bench experience and design experience, and as a jeweler, on-premise jeweler. Find a store in your community that you can trust. Buy from those people. Don't go buy on these trips and do other things. Find someone you can trust, and I also would consider look for stores that are American Gem Society stores. That's less than 5%, I think, of all jewelry stores can qualify to be that. They uphold high standards, so AGS is a great way to go.
And most of the places actually have Wi-Fi, and you can actually Google pricing on the spot. I know people who bought watches and stuff, and they've come back and the watches weren't even of the quality. A Seiko watch, which is counterfeit, which is not an expensive watch. It's not like a Cartier or a Rolex or something.
All right, so then, say something like that happens, do you have any experience with friends or people trying to mail things back to Mexico or trying to get a refund?
No, well, I do know one person who has had to go the bout of trying to do a disputed charge for as she said, one too many mojitos. But for the most part, you don't realize it until a year or two later.
Right.
And when you need a battery change, or when you need to get it sized because things changed, your arthritis sets in and you need a little bit bigger size, you couldn't get it on and off and you weren't wearing it. So those are important things to remember.
We had a client years ago when we had Aura who bought something in Mexico. It was more than 10 years ago, but they were very disgruntled about the purchase, and they FedExed it to Mexico.
Oh.
Never got there.
Well, I get apprehensive even about the silver. You go through these places and they say they have, sterling silver pieces, and there have been moments where it's been silver plated. I've seen people who purchased something that was supposed to be sterling, and it is silver plated in the end.
But they know that a lot of tourists are not.
They are.
They're already at home. They just go to heck with it, and they're not going to get involved because it's a lot of trouble.
They do.
One thing do remember though, make sure you use your MasterCard or Visa, because you can dispute a charge, and if you can prove that you've been wrong, you can actually not have to pay for that.
That is true, but
Yeah.
I have a story about Diamonds International in Cozumel where this couple tried to dispute their credit card, and on the sales ticket they had signed something about buyer's remorse, and they were not
that you
able.
have to be aware of.
They
You
weren't
need
able
make
to
sure
get a
you
refund.
Don't sign something like that. That's where they got you. If you have to sign something like that, you know you're being cheated. That's
But
crazy.
sometimes you don't realize you're signing that because it's in that microscopic print that
Yeah,
even
and
readers
you're so
are going to
excited,
help
you
you.
just got a
Yeah,
good deal
yeah.
on a piece of jewelry.
You're in the shopper's high, and you're enjoying the moment, and it's
People say you're buying a moment.
You're buying a moment. You are, and you've overspent your moment.
It's nice to have mementos and trinkets when you go on a trip. You want to have something to remember your trip by. But, and we're not saying that everybody is unethical or dishonest, but over 30 years, we've heard so many stories, and it's heartbreaking. It really is. I mean, we read several today about elderly people. One lady got pressured into buying, how much was it, Gabriel?
$67,000 for 3 pieces,
Wow.
and it was appraised at around 10. So there's no rules or regulations for markups. They can mark it up 10 times. It doesn't matter. It's just people are going to be.
You want someone who's
that excited.
ethical. And if you think about who you have specifically on the cruise ships, you go on those cruise ships and they're just salespeople. They're not jewelers.
Exactly.
They're not people who are expert in that. I've gone into those jewelry stores wandering around and stuff, and they're awful. I would not say that there is anyone there who's there for you. They're there to make their quota.
They're trained to sell, they're there for quotas, you're exactly right, they're paid on commission.
Yeah.
Like Connie said, they're not jewelers, they don't have any clue really what they're selling. They couldn't tell you, junk quality, fine quality, or commercial grade stone if they had to. They couldn't grade it because they don't know. They're taught what to say and how to sell. They do a good job at it. So if you want to spend a lot of money, you're doing it at your own risk.
I actually have a story about that.
Tell us.
When I was getting my graduate gemologist, I went to a seminar that we had to take. It came through Charlotte with the Gemological Institute of America, and there were some people in our class that were from Alaska, and so we were real curious to ask them about what happens when the cruise ship comes in and they all come in your store and all of this. They said that every piece of jewelry, literally, it has a price tag and it has an A, a B, and a C price on it. And I said, well, okay, explain. They said, well, we don't leave the client and go ask the manager because we have to work quickly. You know, they got to get back on
We
the
got
ship.
to make a sale. We got to make
Pressure,
a sale.
pressure, got to get back. So they said that, I said, well, like, what is the A price? And they said the A price would be the most expensive that we would charge someone, the least discount. So like, that's the old man with the varicose veins and the white sandals and the black socks, the bad breath. And they said, well, how do you get the C price, which is the biggest discount?
You walk away.
They said that's the, the woman, I'll just say this nicely, the woman who's a little more flirty, so, they just had.
She has a Parker unbuttoned, a little lower than normal.
What? Oh.
The décolletage, you know what I'm saying, bending over the counter routine. But I thought that was very interesting. They have all of their gross profit built into those already decided discounted prices, and they just let the salespeople decide.
If you think about the pricing on how a cruise ship works, so you have pricing, and it's across the board in regards to anything that they have. They do their little specials, and they're marked 20% off. This is like a clearance thing. They're marked 20% off. And by the 5th or 6th, depending on how many nights you're on, you get a 50% off. And
They call that a Dutch auction sale back in the old days.
it's
Keeps
crazy.
going.
And they're still overpriced. I've been into looking at like Tanzanite and stuff with my sister when she was shopping. And she's like, oh, it's a great price. It's 50% off. And I go,
50%
it's
off of what?
still probably twice what it should be.
50% off of what?
Yeah.
This,
Yes.
That's that's the worst thing in the world for people to believe. But it's like new and improved. How many times has your laundry detergent been new and improved?
Yes.
So how many places are going to go that are going to give you an automatic discount? Why would they do that? Why don't you price it fairly to start with?
That's
what
always
Give
my
somebody
problem.
a good value.
we
There it
always
is,
try
which
to
is what
do
we try to
in
do.
our
We try to
business,
give you a
yes.
fair price up front.
Yeah.
And when you get to be like on Connie's status here, and you work with us a lot, you tend to get really, really good values.
Well,
when you
I-
do some things too, don't you?
I enjoy working with Russ. Yes.
And our gemstone dealers, when they come in.
Oh, I love coming when the gem. Woo.
Yep. So
I love coming when the gemstone
So,
dealers are
so
here.
they'll be going, what are you talking
That's
about?
what my necklace is,
So-
is from one of those moments.
So tell them what we're talking about.
When I come in by accident and you have a jeweler here, and
Or
then I
we'll
get to
call
sit
her.
down and
A
well,
Gemstone.
yes,
Or we'll
yes,
call her,
yes.
hey Connie, you need to get over here.
Well, I
And
think
what does
that-
Connie do? She drops everything. She
Yes,
gets flying
I
over.
do. If I'm not doing anything and I head over here, because if nothing else, I'm getting to see him working, which is almost as much fun for me as me going, oh, that's pretty.
She's really wanting to see the gemstone.
Yeah, I do.
Nothing
I I like sparkly rocks. They're very fun.
Yes.
Rocks are fun, but I've enjoyed being able to come, which is just, and I learned so much. It's just amazing to me how much I have learned
What she's
over the
been-
past
yeah.
5 years.
What she's been able to do is come in. We have our gemstone dealers who are from around the world come in, and they'll bring in their loose stones. That's what we do. We buy stones loose. We hand pick everything that we sell.
Mm-hmm.
And Connie likes to come in, so she can come in and she literally can buy directly from the dealer as well. A lot of times she'll come in and she'll find some. We have many customers who will do that. And we know we have someone coming in particular, especially our opal dealer. We've got
Oh
a
my
list
God,
of
the
people
opals.
who always want to come see him because what he has is phenomenal. Like the pendant she's got
Yes,
on
yeah.
now.
I love opals.
And We have a Brazilian dealer that we like to deal with, an Israeli dealer. We have a guy who's got a factory in Thailand that comes a lot. And
They're all fabulous.
it's a lot of fun. So,
Yeah.
you know, again, we're not buying from mass marketers or mass factories. We're buying also from independent gemstone dealers they're very conscious, like we are, of a good value and the quality. So, whatever you get from us, it's going to be meticulously gone over to make sure it's a good value and a nice stone for you to enjoy and hand down to someone one day.
Well, you don't have to worry about it being fake. You don't have to worry about it being lab grown. You don't, meaning you haven't chosen, or synthetic for that matter.
Speaking of
something
synthetic,
that does not
Yeah,
identify as.
they're talking about, or that they say it's not treated, heat treated, or whatever, and it is. It's amazing how that works.
speaking of synthetic, I showed you these earlier, talking
Yes.
about the cruise deal. I don't know if I got these in the right place, Gabrielle, tell me. Close?
Let's see if we can get the
Anyway, these are a beautiful, classic diamond halo around some large, beautiful blue sapphires. Or are they? Here's the story. A friend of mine's mother bought these on a cruise many, many years ago. Fell in love with them. She got a great deal. She bought these at 60% off. She was so thrilled because she basically thought she stole these things. They're beautiful. And she passed away, and her son came in because he doesn't need them and wanted to see about selling them. And once I inspected them under the microscope, I realized that these are not sapphires. These are doublets, meaning there's a slice of sapphire and the rest of it is a synthetic white clear stone that reflects the blue so it looks like a stone. Under the microscope, I can see a clear seam where it was glued together. This is a common practice. A lot of these places, when people are coming in tourist places, can do something like this and get away with it. Now, when she bought these many years ago, if she'd have gone to a jeweler or to me or somebody and said, "Hey, Russ, look what I got on my trip. What do you think about it? Or did I get a good price?" And then they look under the scope and realize, hey, they're not even sapphires. She could have taken them back, hopefully, but she didn't. This is like 10 or 15 years ago, so now they're stuck with something that's basically, the diamonds are okay, but the stones are worthless. But these stones are about a 3 carat each stone, so imagine what she probably paid for 6 carats of sapphire.
Well, I think that's the problem, is that you're thinking you're getting one thing, and it's a bait and switch.
Yep.
And you're so excited by the talk that goes on the cruises, where they're talking about you get great deals.
Yeah.
Sticking to their shops, you're not necessarily going to get a good deal. And I think that I've seen that with costume pieces that I've purchased, and once we've looked at it, it's not the same for other jewelry companies, not just cruises. So you really have to be mindful of what you're purchasing.
That's true. Mimi, you've got some information on an article, I believe, that you wanted to read to
Yeah.
everybody.
This is an article written by a lady. What's her name? Not that it matters, but she is a consumer advocate. Her name is Michelle Couch Friedman, and I've got this on the internet. This is not me quoting anything. This is not me bad mouthing any company or any cruise line. This is an article that I found. This older couple went on a Regent cruise to Cozumel, and they felt like they were strong-armed into spending $20,000 on jewelry. They wanted to go in and look. The store was in Cozumel. It was not on the ship. It was one of those sponsored as stores, and they were advertising free bracelets. So they wanted to go see what the free bracelet offer was. They popped in, and
in the store.
Yes.
they were quickly waited on by one and then two, and after 2 hours, a fourth salesperson came out. They were browbeating them into making.
They used to call it a TO, turnover.
Right.
You keep turning it over to the next salesman, whoever the right personality gets a hold of them, they can sell them something.
They did that to me and Catherine in Mexico. They were trying to sell us a timeshare kind of thing down there. And we went through at least 5 people. We got a free cabana after it, but it was way too much headache.
Well,
But
this,
anyways.
this couple, they were literally in the store for over 2 hours. He specifically said, I do not want to purchase anything. Unfortunately, he handed over his credit card to them. But it says him and his wife told the salesperson that they didn't want to buy anything. He says his wife continued to insist that she just didn't want or need any new jewelry. She wanted to actually save the money for future cruises. She wanted to take more trips. She didn't want more jewelry. So they mentioned in here, of course, in a lot of third world countries, the haggling is a way of dealing with people. But they, let's see, the fan is blowing my papers. They didn't want to purchase an item, and they said this woman says it's very important to make a firm response and exit the premises. That was the first thing that
That's what you do
they
with
should have done.
telemarketers.
But unfortunately, this didn't happen, and this couple handed the credit card over. They purchased 2 rings for $20,000. They did have buyer's remorse, but they said in a letter to the cruise line that they felt like they were in Mexico too. They were a little worried about their safety. They didn't know if they left with expensive jewelry, if they were going to be targeted going back to the ship. The worst thing was one of these rings didn't even fit her. And they told the lady that if she went to the next Diamonds International store, they would exchange it for the ring in her finger size. Well, they got to the next place, and not only did they not have a ring in a different size, they wouldn't resolve the situation. They said it was not sizable. So she went home to the States with a ring that didn't even fit her.
And they couldn't size it.
They couldn't size. It was not structurally sound enough to size for her. So they did get appraisals done in the United States, and it says they did appraise higher than what they paid. That's a whole nother shop love topic to talk about, because appraisals are independently done, and you just have to know your appraiser, right, Connie, as well as your jeweler. Because anyway, that's a whole nother show. But ultimately, they tried to dispute it on their credit card, and they were not successful with that. They did eventually get a little bit of money back, but they said that they were promised an $800 rebate from Money Back Mexico. So supposedly when they bought in the store, when they went back to the cruise ship, they were supposed to get $800 from Money Back Mexico, and they never got that either.
That's a scam.
Yeah.
There's a lot of red lights.
Yeah. So
Red lights.
this
Flag.
lady, who's a consumer advocate, she recommends a few things if you're buying jewelry on a cruise. The first thing to keep in mind is just to basically research any type of jewelry you might intend to buy. Like Connie was saying, her friends went to buy a watch. Know about the watch, how it's manufactured, how it's mechanically made, and what prices are. Connie made the good point about Wi-Fi. Just jump on the internet and find out. But there are some manufacturers that do A-level and then B-level grade things. So
Yes, they all
it's
do.
like Chico's. They have Chico's
Oh my
nice
God,
clothes
yes.
and Chico's outlet cheap stuff. And,
Yes.
and,
Not the same
and
clothes,
Mebane.
by the way.
Yeah, not at all. She also recommends that you research the type of jewelry you want to purchase. So go in with an idea of what you're looking for and try to target something and have that base knowledge about.
Most people don't, but they go in and they see all these beautiful things. Like I said, they're in a good mood. They're happy.
The
And
lighting's good.
The salesmen pick up on that, and the salesmen start showing them stuff. And
Yeah.
you get excited about it. Boom. Everybody does that.
Yes.
And people try to be nice. And I'm talking about the people who are coming into the store. They
That's
don't
what
want to
happened
be,
to this couple,
they're
yeah.
trying to be nice. And you can't be nice to these people. You
Yes.
can't. You
Yes.
have to be, you're
Be
there for
firm.
yourself.
Be firm.
Yeah.
She said, set a budget and don't deviate from it if you just don't feel good about it. If you get that little feeling, I even told my Sunday school kids, when you get that little feeling inside, you need to walk away. Or like I told my Sunday school kids, be like Joseph and run away. Run away from Potiphar's wife.
Act like your cell phone's ringing. You pick up, then run out. I got an emergency. Run out the door.
Yeah.
Yes.
I have an appointment.
She says, please be prepared for aggressive salespeople. I know, I've been to Kenya about 9 times, and it's just the way they operate.
It is.
They know you're American. They know you have American money. And they need to sell things. That's what they're in the markets to do. But you have to be very firm, and very,
I would
just
say
very
that
clear.
Jamaica and Mexico are probably the hardest places to navigate through. It doesn't mean that they're not fabulous places to go visit. And if you choose to partake in any of that stuff, I would say do it limited and know that you are going to have to be very hard on them to say no. Because,
They
I've
don't
been
know the
called
word
all
no.
sorts of expletives
Yeah.
for telling them to back off, and they've tried to manhandle me in Mexico a few times.
That probably didn't work very well, did it?
No, it did not.
You just have to walk away.
Yeah, we are not a manhandle kind of person. So yeah, that's important.
It's very important. And then her last point is, don't sign anything till you've read all the little print.
Exactly.
She is a consumer advocate. There are people you can hire if you have purchase problems like this. One thing she did comment in this article was that they were upset, and they did write a letter to the CEO of the Regent Cruises. There was a better way to have communicated with the cruise line and with Diamonds International. She, like I said, she got a little bit of it resolved, but we've been in business for over 30 years, and we hear these stories all the time. We hear it from other jewelers.
Keep saying 30. 40.
Huh? 40?
You always decade.
I know.
behind.
I just am in denial that
It's
I'm
been that
62.
long.
You're that old,
Right?
yeah.
It's been that long.
It's been a yeah.
But he has to remind me that Gabrielle is 31 now, so I always say we've been married 30
There you
years.
go.
Yeah.
Anyway, we hope that that information has been rewarding for you. Again, when you go travel, have a good time. Do what you're doing. Enjoy the sights. Enjoy the cruise has all the amenities. You enjoy those amenities.
I don't
go
think
spend a lot of
anyone's
money.
there for jewelry.
Yeah.
I think that's the big part that my husband has had to remind me before, is we're not here for this. We're here to partake in the scenery. We're here to partake in the vivation and the food and whatever the other stuff that we're here for. We are not here to look at and appraise
Well,
jewelry.
You're not there to get conned by a salesman who
Well,
wants
I'm
you to
not
buy
gonna.
something.
I'm not gonna get
No, but
conned.
a lot of
There's
people do,
that.
yeah.
But I have actually been in jewelry stores and told people to walk away. I have, yeah, because of how they were being aggressively approached, and they were uncomfortable. And I walked up like I knew them, and I said, "We're done. We gotta go." And when we got out there, they bought me a drink. So
That's how you get all your drinks.
That's how I got my drinks for
Hey,
free.
that's good. Remember
Yeah.
that. Have fun.
Drink
with
But-
that.
package is just getting them away from swindlers.
Yes,
true.
yeah.
You're a consumer advocate.
I just don't want to see people manhandled. I've been manhandled before in those situations, and I'm not even buying anything. It's just that's their livelihood. I understand that, but we have to be our own advocates.
That's right. We appreciate you joining us tonight. Again, tonight was not a selling show. We didn't have anything really to offer to show tonight. We just kind of wanted to give you a little information because a lot of times this is a time a lot of people do go on cruises in the fall
There's a
when
lot of
things are
people
cooling
traveling,
down.
yeah.
I go on a cruise in a week.
And a lot, there you go. A lot of times over the
24,
holidays, people
Yeah.
do something like that instead. So just beware if you're trying to go into a store somewhere and you're not sure, and somebody's trying to sell you something really hard, as she said, pushing you. Don't fall for that. That's not what you want to do.
And call us if you need.
And you can call us.
If you.
I had a guy call
most
me
of
from
the
Hawaii
jewelry's-
one time doing that. He
Yeah.
was in a store in Hawaii and he wanted to buy something, and he called me and I beat what it was they had, and,
Yeah.
and he bought me. And I've had people actually call from the Caribbean too, did the same thing.
Most of those jewelry stores, if you say, I need the internet information for that jewelry store, they will give it to you. Because they're that eager in wanting to keep you happy.
Yeah.
And if they don't, you really need to get out.
That's right.
Because that's a problem. But like Diamonds International has internet, free internet for their customers. It's not like they're trying to keep it, but when you have 4 people working on you, that's too many.
Yeah.
You know, that's a lot.
intimidating.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Oh, I had one other point. You made me think of this. A lot of people think that the jewelry in the Caribbean or other places comes from other places where it's magically cheaper than it is in the United States. I've been on an airplane to Cancun, and there was all these jewelry salesmen or jewelry company owners. And I was looking at this guy's emerald ring. I'm like, I know him, and sure enough, he was the owner of Cabana, the company we used to deal with at Aura. He was in first class. We were all going to Cancun. It's like, yep, just you sell it everywhere. It's not just in the States.
And we see them a lot of times at the gem shows, jewelry shows that we go to. Those guys are up there buying. They buy in the same place. They don't get any special deals. They get
The
no better
retailers.
prices than
Yeah.
anybody else. And they have no less overhead. They have stores down there they have to pay for. They have other things to cover, and they have to do the traveling to go get the stuff. And
Get it there.
And they're just trying to do it. But
Imported
everybody's
also.
trying to make a living, right? But again, as I said, go trust your local jeweler. We would love to help you if we can in any way. One thing I will show tonight that I haven't done because I only had this for a short period of time. I hope I got it in the right place. Do I have that in the right place?
Here, let's put it down.
This is one of the rarest gemstones you'll see. Many, many years ago, they found a vein or a mine of gemstones in Brazil in the Paraíba region. And they originally called them neon tourmalines because they were so bright, they were so brilliant, just absolutely incredible gemstones. In the last couple of decades, the last decade, they've been finding a similar color stone in Africa, in the Mozambique area. This particular stone is that Mozambique area color stone. It looks like the water you see where?
In the Caribbean.
In the Caribbean.
I was just thinking that.
Which is why it's such a highly desirable stone. This is one of the colors that people literally fight for. They're very rare. That's only the second or third one I've ever had in my possession.
It's gorgeous.
That's the largest one that I've ever seen. This stone, if it was from Brazil, would be off the charts.
Yes.
It would be several $100,000 probably
Yes.
to be that color from there. The African stones are not nearly as expensive. And the funny thing is, I just heard a report recently that the owner of the Paraíba mine, which is now empty, he's got some stones still, but there are no more stones coming from there. And they're calling these African Paraíbas. And he is suing GIA, he is suing AGS, and all the other labs who are calling this particular stone a Paraíba because it's not. But they're that good, and they are a lot less expensive.
It is gorgeous.
If you're interested in a very unique and rare stone, this would be one for you. This stone, I think it's about 8 carats. I'm not sure. I don't have it in front of me. But anyway, it's the wrong tag.
No.
But if you want to see something special, or you want something special, call me. I can give you more details about it. I can send you some detailed pictures on it. This will make an incredible ring or a very unique pendant, but it is extremely
beautiful.
rare.
It's really pretty.
Yeah. You have a hard time walking away from that one.
I have a lot of projects right now. I can't buy anything.
That's right.
Connie, thank you for
Oh, it was
coming in
fun.
tonight.
It was fun.
We appreciate it.
We're going to do some fun things in September. We're going to celebrate Made in North Carolina. And so the last Tuesday of the month, one of the silver craftsmen, Dan Dye from the North Carolina State Fair Village of Yesteryear, is going to come. And
He's a great silver
so
smith.
That's
we've
fun.
we've got some more guests lined up through the fall to come in and have night like tonight with Connie.
Yay.
And we've, again, speaking of gemstones, as I said the last couple of times, we've purchased a lot of very unique, beautiful stones lately. We're creating some pieces. We just finished a piece of Gabrielle design, and we'll show that next week, along with some other pieces that we're coming up with for the fall and for Christmas. And again, if you have any ideas or some dreams that you've had, you want something designed for your wife, girlfriend, or yourself for Christmas, give us a call, set up an appointment, go on our website. Please go to our website, BrummettJewelryDesignStudio.com, and see what we do. See our collections, see all the information that we have for you there. You can learn a lot about diamonds, gemstones, and information and history. And if we can help you in any way, please do so. And remember, we're here to help you repurpose your old jewelry. If you have something that you don't wear or don't care about anymore, you have some old gold, some broken stones, broken things, bring it in. We can help you figure out a way to repurpose that, or you can trade some of these things in occasionally and create something of your dreams. So Connie can tell you that for a fact. She's done that several times.
I say if you do not wear it and it's just sitting in your jewelry box, it either needs to be repurposed or gift.
Exactly.
needs to find a new home.
Exactly.
You should not be keeping anything you're not wearing. And he has repurposed anything I'm not wearing,
That's
which
true.
has made it fabulous.
It's like jewelry abuse,
Yeah.
isn't it?
You know,
It is.
as
It
a-
is. I've got, all sorts of different pieces that he has put together for me from different pieces.
As we go along, our styles change, our tastes change, our economic situation changes to where
Yes.
we can afford and do more and want to have the things we've always dreamed of. So that's what we're here to help you to do. Again, thank you so much for joining us, Connie. We really appreciate you being here. We love you. She's a client, but she's a great friend. We love Connie.
We enjoy the bromance.
we enjoy having her too. So thanks for joining us tonight. If you have any questions, please do not hesitate to call or contact us. You can go to our website. You can call us our phone number. You can text our phone number as well if you want to do that. And if we can do anything for you, please, we look forward to hearing from you. Have a very blessed weekend and a safe Labor Day weekend as well.
Stay dry.
And stay dry. Oh yeah, be careful. Hope the storm doesn't cause any problems for anybody or your family anywhere in Florida. My mom's in Florida, but hopefully she'll be fine. Anyway, thanks for joining us. Have a blessed week as well. Good night.
Good night.